entry, and our second team entry, which is from Claire, Larry, Nicky and Nina. I know we have a range of you joining. Claire, you head this list, which I'm going to take as either you are the scribe or you are the most important. So I'll allow you to interpret that in the way that you would like to. But Claire, do you want to lead off? Thank you so much for entering. Do you want to talk about your team's partnership?
Yes, definitely the scribe. It was a very collaborative process. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to try and keep my voice down. I'm in the beautiful Wellcome Collection Library reading room here, so try not to disturb everybody around me. Yeah, we met as we're all NSK champions for the charity versus arthritis. Happens all four of us are physiotherapists, but there's many other professionals within that group. And having been involved in Kaleidoscope events before, you seem to have a way of bringing together such wonderful people that have innovative thinking and creativity. So when I saw this, I kind of put the call out to the group and said, would anyone else like to join in? So we had Larry, Nicky and Nina that fed into the questions. Nicky came up with the wonderful phrase collective soul, that we're trying to find a collective soul of people that want to do the right thing and to be caring and to provide great care. And I think we were very conscious of the fact that it's not just direct caregivers that provide care and healthcare throughout this country and across the world. All those support services that are involved as well, we wanted to make sure that the questions would bring them in as well.
Thank you. And just to say, we can hear you loud and clear. And I think you get the prize for the best chandeliers in backdrop. I know Nina is with us as well, and I might come to you, Nina, in just a second. But Claire, can you just talk us through the third question here, particularly? Which I've had a number of people talk to me about it and either say, oh, that's amazing, or just practically, how would that work? But there's something really open about that question in a way which many others may not be. Do you want to talk about that one in particular?
Yeah, this one, we wanted caring in there. I think that's just a core element of what we want that collective soul to be. But I think, having been somebody who's interviewed many people over the years, there's nothing more frustrating than having somebody in front of you that really struggles to get their question across. And that can be because they're not great in interview, English isn't their first language, maybe neurodivergent. So Nina can probably expand a little bit on this because she did come up with the thoughts of this, but we wanted to be really inclusive without alienating people that like a traditional interview. Because if I got that one, I'd be like, oh my goodness, just ask me a question. And that gives the option for people to come in with their answer to their question, but it also lets people explore that in a way that their brain may not be the type of brain that can just rattle off an answer in a question. It gives them time to think, it gives them time to prepare, and then to be able to express themselves in whatever way they wish to. And I think one of the things that you put forward as a challenge was being creative. And I'll maybe hand over to Nina because she came up with the idea of the creativity for this one.
Lovely, thank you. Nina, would you like to come in?
I think you very much said it, Claire. But the flip side to this is also who you can have on your interview panel, because you very typically we're used to people taking a very hierarchical approach with that, and I've some experience of doing interviews that were value based, and what it meant was that instead of, so for example, within our physiotherapy department, instead of the panel having to be of people of a more senior grade than who you're recruiting, we were able to invite our HCAs and our admin staff to be part of that interview panel, because it didn't have to be knowledge based. It didn't have to be about a muscle attachment. It could be about what we really cared about, which was the patients. And that these sorts of questions allow you to unpack that, and they're just as capable as the rest of us of ascertaining that. And also, just that experience of recruiting people who are great at interviews, but you're not necessarily getting the best person. And I don't know if this is any better at it, but it's certainly, it's that adage of what the stuff you were talking about before. If you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you always got. I've bastardized a quote there.
At all. Nina, thank you very much. The last one for me, and then we will move on. Nina, how was it doing as a team of 4? Did you all agree? Did you fall out? Do you still look at it and go, well, that's my question, but that one I really dislike? How did that part of the process work for you?
I think it worked brilliantly, and mostly because Claire facilitated it. So I think what it did was to allow us all to put some thoughts down. And then I certainly looked at it and went, oh, gosh, yes, that's what we always do. No, let's be more creative. It worked really well. And by having a collaborative, I think it really brought the best out. But having Claire pull those strands together really worked.
Nina, thank you. This is a prize about collaboration. So if you'd come out and said it was awful, we fought the whole time, it'd be honest, but maybe less in keeping. Thank you very much indeed, Nina, Claire, and also Larry and Nicky, not with us. Thank you very much indeed for your entry. Lovely stuff.